Manchester City has made it 17 home wins in a row. This is a new club record. At the Etihad Stadium today, when they defeated Newcastle United by 1 goal to nil in their second game of the English Premier League. It is understood and already known that Man City has won the treble last season. However, this season it doesn't look impossible that they may go 4 EPL titles in a row. I must say that today they looked quite outstanding as to how they applied themselves against Newcastle United, who was very instrumental when they played against Aston Villa in the first game of their fixtures. However, Man City looked as if they are robotics in the sense that these players know exactly what to do. They know how to press, they know to press from the front or from the back. They just know how to do everything in accordance to the plans of Pep Guardiola. And by way of this, Premier 7 would like to oversee on this. So guess what? Make we see Wagwan.
Premier 7.
As you can see there on the Premier League's table for the new season, only Brighton and Hove Albion is ahead of Manchester City, but that is based on goal difference. Both teams have made 2 wins back to back in the Premier League, and it is early days, but the focus is all on Manchester City and how they go about in making themselves look like robots when they played against Newcastle today. It was a 1-0 victory, but it was amazing on the ice. A normal person like myself or you, the viewers and listeners of Premier 7, could not dare to compare ourselves to the team from Etihad. I mean, I must apologize for you not seeing my face on this show, but I realize that it is best to do so based on reasons beyond my control. I apologize again because I decided to do the streams at 8 p.m., but as I've mentioned before, due to technical difficulties, which could be a reason, and other things that I don't have in my control of, I have to change the time. But it would be disrespectful not to speak about Man City today because it was already on my schedule to speak about the treble winners who look as if they will be going on to win another Premier League title. It is early days and I can understand that, but not only myself is concluding by way of this too early. Other persons, other pundits are saying the same. And I believe that Man City have what it takes to win another Premier League title. The topic is all about unstoppable Manchester City, another Premier League title. And you can have your say as well. The platform is open to every and anyone because Premier 7 respect all persons who wish to have a say. Of course, if you are new, please subscribe. If you are already a subscriber, please go ahead, watch, like, comment, share, and for all persons, turn on your notifications bell to be informed about more on what is going to take place on Premiere 7. Some persons may be sleeping while some persons are awake, so this is a show, like a night show, to invite you to what is happening in the Premier League. And of course, you can also follow me here on YouTube and also on TikTok to see what else I have to share. Today's game was amazing. Today's game shows that Man City is a team that isn't easy to break down, but they find it quite easy to break down any team that have had a brilliant result. Newcastle United is like an underdog, a team that persons would say that they have the potential to finish in the top four this season, but not to win a Premier League title. And it shows that today Man City is clearly the favourites once more. Records were made to be broken and new ones are put in place, and Man City could be the team to paint the entire Premier League in blue. Seeing that Manchester United is off the pace, they don't have what it takes at this stage to be the real Manchester. All right? So in that case, now I want to share some details here to you, the public, on Manchester City results via One Football News. And it is always my pleasure to give the details on what is taking place in the Premier League because Premier 7 is always on time to provide the audience with strict and updated news via One Football. So Manchester City secure narrow victory over Newcastle, and there you see Phil Foden. He was electric in the midfield. I think Phil Foden should continuously play in that era, seeing that he is more so progressive, he is more so comfortable, or is better in terms of his application in the game. Having Phil Foden playing wider on the left wing or on the right wing, it kind of restricts his ability to show how electrifying he can be having the ball at his feet. Phil Foden is a player for which I rate highly above players like Mason Mount. You can add your own names as well, but to me, Phil Foden is a player who haven't reached 25 as yet. He can be a future leader for Manchester City. So let me just hush up and just speak about the news at this point. All right. So in that case right now, heading into the match, we know that it was a match that was nail biting if you should look on the first games in the fixtures. As you know, Newcastle was way more outstanding. But heading to the game, Man City is the reigning champions. And Pep Guardiola men see that if they could continue their domestic dominance, I'm right here, it would more so be something that if they win against Newcastle United, it would have been a new record. And it happens. It was an amazing game. The first half was a case in which Alvarez shines. The game started with both teams measuring each other. City, although coming off from the demanding European Super Cup fixture, shows no sign of fatigue. They gradually upped the ante with Manuel Akanji sending a warning with a long range effort. So it's just going through the details of the game. And the spotlight, however, was firmly on Julian Alvarez, the World Cup winner, broke the deadlock at the 31st minute mark, sending the ball curling into the top corner. Phil Foden stepping up in the absence of Kevin De Bruyne, who is the main man, played a pivotal role, setting up Alvarez for what was the winning goal. A little thing on Newcastle here. Newcastle were bystanders in that affair. Eddie Howe Magpies, having waited for more than 2 decades for a league win at City, showed they weren't here just to make up numbers. That is just Newcastle, of course. They're a brilliant team. And however, 5 of their players received bookings, reflecting the intensity of the game. Sandro Tonali wasn't at his best, and it shows that not all games players will be their best. However, it doesn't say that he's not a brilliant player. Of course, he is. When I was watching the game today, it was said boldly that Julian Alvarez is that type of player who has won everything. So young, and you won everything. Mbappe would have been that player, but he has yet to win the Champions League. So Julian Alvarez is that priceless gem in world football at the age of, I think, 23. For sure, Manchester City is continuing on a good path. Things can happen, things can change, but the signing of Gvardiol recently proved that Pep Guardiola is a gem in terms of what he wants. What he wants is what he gets. However, the players knows how to apply themselves, and you have to get stars in your team. Gvardiol played at left back, and he played amazingly well. The Gvardiol that you saw in the World Cup was a Gvardiol today. And persons like John Stones is absent, who could play beside Rodri. But oh my God, a big shout out to Kovacic. He was instrumental in terms of progressing the ball, getting the ball from the back line, connecting with Rodri. Sometimes you can see them being side by side. That shows that they're working with a system of sometimes having two holding midfielders playing with different styles. But I mean, Newcastle United was not a match for the team from Etihad. And that is the reason why my screen is in blue as well, because it is all about Man City. And what do you think about them? Do you think that Man City have that potential to win another Premier League title? Because they're unstoppable. They are absolutely unstoppable. In that case, I just want to jump to the statistical details in terms of Manchester City from SofaScore, one of the best website to use in utilizing or sharing statistical details, updated information about clubs. And by way of that, let me just jump into the details on Manchester City because it's a team for which many young kids these days are supporting. Back in the days, it was Manchester United, maybe before it was Liverpool, but seeing how well Man City has made things better for themselves and continuously improving their team, it is absolutely unstoppable. So let me just get the details up here and smash a like on the video, guys, in regards to the details that I am sharing about this excellent team. Manchester City, as we know, is currently second in the Premier League, and they came off a victory in the first game of the Premier League. But before that, they played Sevilla and they won on penalty shootout for the Super Cup. So they continuously continues to win titles, and that shows how amazing they are. Excellent on the eyes, excellent on the ears if you're listening to the commentary. If you're not watching the games that they're playing, you can expect a win. And I just want to give a big shout out to the top players here. Looking to the right of my screen, you see that Rodri is the main player based on the sofa score rating 8.45. A player who is the best central defensive midfielder to me in the world from last season, treble winner, playing well in the Premier League, playing well in other competition, even the Champions League final that they won. He was the person who scored that goal. Roger is brilliant in terms of his understanding based on his role. He knows how to apply himself. He knows how to handle different situation, and he's not easily frustrated. He don't throw away what he should not throw away, but he retains himself. He keeps his focus, and he knows how to make the right passes, adjust himself, and get the ball to the rightful players, or to even try and shoot at the goal, and more so, he will score. Moving away from that, I want to speak about Phil Foden. 7.90 as his rating. Phil Foden is absolutely brilliant in terms of going forward with the ball. He is different from that of an Ilkay Gundogan who has left the Barcelona, different from a Kevin De Bruyne. He's short in stature, but he's very pacey. He's not the fastest player of all time, but what he have is the ball control ability to have the ball at his feet. You see the goal that Diaz scored today, that quick goal. It is how fast he is, similar to Phil Foden, not from a goal scoring perspective, but based on how well they can keep the ball at their feet. I think having a Phil Foden in the Premier League shows that the Premier League is one of the greatest league because this youngster can apply himself in any competition and dominate, or any league and dominate. I like to watch Phil Foden, and he has achieved a lot, and I wish him all the best based on the continuation of his career. Erling Haaland, he is brilliant. 30 plus goals last season. Scored 2 goals in the first game for Man City. Today he haven't scored, but he got some chances, but it is just a part of the game. Burnley was trashed 3-0. Even a player was given red card, as you can see down here. But Erling Haaland, 2 games, there's more to come from the monstrous centre forward. I think his father was happy he himself was a Man City player, and now his son is making the best of his opportunity. Julian Alvarez, 7.80. He has won everything, and he's showing that he can play even as a number 10. That shows flexibility. That shows that he's versatile in his position to play and to work on the different system. Because you have some players, who are specialists in their areas, but you want to have players who can even play more than one role, but being specialists in even 2 positions. It is somewhat impossible, but it is possible because Olen Alvarez plays as a number 10 today, or even as a false 9. If I'm correct, you can correct me as well. But it shows that he was playing behind Erling Haaland, and his link up play with everyone on the pitch, especially those up front, a Haaland and especially a Phil Foden, who gave him that goal. He knows how to finish. And I saw that from Alvarez in the World Cup against many teams. He was that player who was right there to score. He was always active. He can score with any feet. That is Julian Alvarez for you. And Mateo Kovacic, if he was garbage last season for Chelsea, instantaneously his career is being revitalized at Man City. Brilliant on the ball, brilliant care of the ball. He hardly loses the ball. He doesn't keep the ball too long at his feet. And that is something for which you want in your team. You don't want for persons in your midfield to be panicking. You want for your players to be outstanding. And Cheryl Nelson Edwards is one of the greatest fan, one of the greatest supporter of Premier 7. I mean, she's always available to even send the soccer balls. She's one of my biggest motivation on the channel, and I really appreciate her presence. Back to what I was saying here. So I was speaking about a player here from Man City who was, yes, Mateo Kovacic. Absolutely amazing. Players do have bad spells, but it shows that you're brilliant when you can bounce back from adversities. He has won many things before. He has represented Croatia very well as well in the World Cup or in different competitions, and he proved himself that he can adjust into a different club. 7.45 is his rating, and the list goes on. So, I mean, all over Man City is a team that is hard to defeat. It's a team that is reluctant to lose. They don't take losses as an excuse, and they believe in winning consistently. Yet to consider goal in the Premier League as well, so it shows that their goal difference is good. But there's 2 behind Brighton, who trashed Wolves 4-1 today. The top four is covered are seeded by Brentford and Liverpool, Spurs in fifth, Newcastle in sixth, Arsenal in seventh. Premier 7 speaks about the top seven teams in the Premier League and also the top seven teams in the Jamaican Premier League. So your team have to be in the top seven to be spoken about on Premier 7. And of course, I had to come on board and redo this video because it would be disrespectful to let the day pass and I don't speak about Man City. It is my time now to say goodbye. It is my time now to wave goodbye to the fans and followers of Premier 7 today. Please go ahead and continue to support the channel. Leave a like, watch it, the videos that is, or the videos, share them with your friends and colleagues or even your family members, and this will help the channel to grow. So the topic was basically about unstoppable Manchester City, another Premier League title. It is not impossible, even though it is early days. They had bad season before and came on board to win the Premier League title, so it's not impossible for them to win another one. Four in a row, it is still in the makings. And Premier 7 is in the makings as well to make not only this video, but more. It is my pleasure to do this wrap up session in regards to Man City being unstoppable. Stick around for more. Watch this video as well and share your comments. You do have yourself a wonderful time, and I will speak to you once more when there's more news to present. Take care and goodbye for now.